Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be doing a full test and review of the Scourge Kukri by Kailash Blades. Stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a full test and review on the Scourge Kukri by Kailash Blades. Now, for anybody who's followed my channel for any length of time, you know we love our Kukris. Now, don't worry about the oil stains, that's just to keep it from rusting because it is made from 5160 spring steel. Though this does not have a traditional Kukri look, you'll definitely be able to recognize the Kukri vibes in it right away. This is actually made by an American designer who actually lives in one of the villages in Nepal and is one of the lead designers for Kailash Blades. He designed some pretty aggressive and pretty phenomenal designs. Now, for anybody who's watched my channel about 4 years ago, we introduced the original Scourge. And that one was a pretty cool, pretty ferocious design, but it wasn't, honestly, it was like a pry bar with an edge. This one is full flat grind, just a little bit over a 1/4 inch thick, and this thing is so freaking nimble in your hand. This is truly one of the first kind of modern takes on a Kukri that I truly believe, in my personal opinion, is a one knife that could almost do it all type of blade. Now, something I really enjoy about this particular knife overall is actually the sheath. They actually went non-traditional with the sheath. Instead of giving you that big kind of wood-framed leather overlay bulky sheath, they actually went traditional, kind of like stacked leather like you would see here over in the States, which gives it more of a kind of, I would say, a Western vibe. But in my personal opinion, it still gets the job done and looks freaking wicked. I love the way this thing sits on the hip and the overall way the Kukri is able to sit there perfect. But one other additional feature I want to talk about is that handle. That is definitely not a traditional Kukri handle. It is definitely made to lock in your hand. This is a lot thinner but still very comfortable handle. A lot of the Kukri handles were always super big and bulky and were not able to fit in people's hands very easily, which I never understood why the Nepalese decided to make these crazy big bulky handles, but I really love the overall ergonomics and the comfortability of this handle. There's no hot spots anywhere, doesn't want to rub on you, and if you need to get any fine detail work, there's this nice little cutout right here, right above the ricasso, that makes fine detail work in that little notch and that groove on the recurve of this blade just tremendous to use. Now for a second, let's talk about the overall blade shape. Obviously, it has got a lot of weight forward right here where we have the, what we like to call the sweet spot, or that nice big belly of the blade, which is going to lend itself to ferocious and powerful sweeping and chopping cuts. Now, we want to make sure that even though this is full flat grind, you definitely want to make sure that you're going to have a nice strong edge. You want as much meat behind the edge, and they took care of that right away. So even though you have a full flat grind, you have a nice convex edge right here. And even though we went through some insane medium, there's a microchip right there. Even though we hit things like bones and nails throughout our adventures, and even rocks in some situations, that was the only damage that occurred, which tells me two things. One, this thing was heat treated properly. This has a nice hard edge and a nice spring temper to it that got it to the correct Rockwell, which in most cases for a very large Kukri knife you want anywhere between 56 and 58. The fluid convex edge on the end of this edge allows a lot of support and meat behind the edge of the blade. So when you're going through very difficult and harsh medium, you're not going to have to worry about very much chipping or blade rolling when you have to worry about really taking this thing out and giving it a beating. But all in all, we want to let you know, yeah, we love this freaking knife. This thing provides you with several opportunities. You have kind of a machete replacement if you want to, with like this being a 13.5 to 14 inch blade. It's a very big honking freaking knife, but given the fact that it's so big, it is not super heavy in the hand. That nice full flat grind will lend itself to some nice sweeping and cutting. So if you want to use this as a machete replacement, if you only want to bring one really big tool, this will do it very easily. But the fact that of that nice big huge recurve belly and that traditional forward weight design that we know to ring true and effective in traditional Kukri designs, it will be a ferocious chopper. And last but not least, because of the recurve near the ricasso right here, like I spoke of earlier, it'll also be able to handle fine detail work pretty dang effectively. I didn't find this thing unwieldy or any situation that I couldn't control this knife 100%. and the designer Andrew and the team over at Kailash Blades over in Nepal. Honestly, for this particular design, I think they slammed it right out of the park, and they have a lot of different designs out there. And we definitely want to reach out and talk to them to be able to bring more of those designs into the channel, because they are one of the few Nepalese manufacturers, forgers, and blacksmiths out there that actually use professional heat treating ovens, and they have some pretty radical and progressive designs that I really want to stick my teeth into. Now, whether you love Kukris or you hate Kukris, definitely drop down in the comments below and let me know what you think about the Kukri design knife as a whole, whether it's traditional, modern, how you like the American renditions that different custom makers make, and other companies like Cold Steel Trade and everybody else. But I want to know what you think of this particular design, because this is a modern take. This is not traditional in any way, shape, or form. They actually have a full flat grind, which is unusual. This is not a traditional shape, and that handle is pretty radical change from something you would normally see. And also the leather work. So would this be something that is off-putting to you in your personal opinion? Or is it a very welcome change given the fact that it's something new, radical, and they're willing to make a few steps forward into modern designs? Now, if you want to learn more about the Scourge Anniversary, any of the other blades that Kailash Blades makes, and they do make traditional Kukris if you're interested in that, definitely drop down in the video description, check out the link down there. But that's just about it for now, and if you enjoyed the full test and review of the Scourge Anniversary Edition, definitely throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that's just about it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.